And there we go. So, yeah, we're here today at the Petrochemical and Energy Show in Secunda. I almost said Evander. It's in Secunda, my old stomping ground. I was here a couple of years in my youth. We did quite a lot of work here. But, yeah, today we've got Xylem with us. And forgive me, I see so many people.
Sure.
Chetan.
Well done, yeah.
Yeah, Chetan. So, Xylem, you guys do everything water. Huh? What do we say here? Let's solve water. I love that. Huh?
Absolutely.
I love that. So maybe give us just a rundown of what you guys do, and then we can talk a little bit about, just have a general chat about it. So maybe give us a high level of what you guys actually do.
No, perfect. Thanks, Andre. And as you mentioned, our slogan tells it all, actually. Let's solve water. So we do anything related to water. So we're talking about moving water, measuring water, treating water, analyzing water, all these kind of components. And we do things like digital water as well to make sure that we've got the analytics behind it.
Okay.
So we have the full life cycle behind the water. We have solutions across the different points.
So it's from start, water coming into a plant, being used, going through maybe a reverse osmosis process or something like that, and then pushing it back into a recycled mode. So you guys do everything in that whole stage, and then maybe even, I'm just prompting, maybe grey water management. Yep. So that you're pushing it back into a stream, and there's no chemicals or anything like that. So it's lawful dispensation of that water. So you guys do all of that in between.
Absolutely. So actually, even one step before, even from extraction from any water source, your lakes, your river, groundwater, whatever it may be, as you said, into a plant.
Yes.
The processing equipment that you might have from a water perspective.
So you do so you can say this is heavy metal water, and you need to treat it this way to get X for your recipe in your plant for 100%. Whatever you're manufacturing.
100%.
Okay.
So in a lot of environments, you see that there's different grades of water. You have raw water can be used as an example for your agriculture, as an example.
Absolutely.
And you have water that you need for potable water, which is drinking water, which is another grade of water. Mm-hmm. But you also need something like ultra pure water, which is for the processing. So things like if you have steam turbines, as an example, you want ultra pure water in those kind of environments. So we look at all those types of different water states that you need. So
you guys can do a little bit on the prevention management of, let's say there is an element in that water that's not supposed to be there. So you can analyze it, and before it gets to a destructive kind of corrosion inside a plant or whatever, because it's got a difference, you can be able to treat that before it actually gets to a stage where it can actually increase costs and cost management inside those plants.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And there's many things, like there'll be minerals in the water, so sometimes you can use your kettle at home as an example, because there's minerals in the water. It gets a scaling on your element. Mm-hmm. That's an easy example to understand. So you take this on a larger scale. In many of these process plants, you might get that type of scaling into the pipes and etc. So you want to avoid some of that. So ultra pure water just basically means removing all that mineral out of it. And as you said, you want to prevent that. So that's on the input side. Mm-hmm. And also from an output side. So your effluent water, we can also do that from that perspective. So treating the water that you have. So remember, if you take in a mining environment as an example, as you're mining, you got a lot of the chemicals that they use from a process perspective, etc.
And they used to push that into slimes, dams, and let it naturally disperse and that. But now, under the new dispensation and the new laws, you have to apply lawful discharge, or I don't know what the term is, but to how you handle effluent water. I know that because in the early, maybe 89.
Yeah.
No, 87. It was 1987. We built a reverse osmosis plant for Mondi Timbers in Petrochemicals.
Yes.
And I was one of the engineers that helped with that build of that reverse osmosis plant. So I understood. I got grounded in that, coming as one of the junior engineers onto the plant, and we had to do that whole reverse osmosis, because they used to just spray the water and let it dispense in the air of that effluent, because it was full of sulfite, because of the salt cake when they in the manufacturing process of paper. The sulfite is and then I learned something that salt cake they actually make more money out of salt cake than they do out of making paper in the paper industry. And who uses salt cake?
No,
aluminium. The aluminium smelters, they utilize the salt cake out of pine timber to manufacture aluminium grade air grade aluminium.
Yep.
So that was something that I learned out of the industry and processing of water. But it's those kind of things. So you guys can manage that entire end-to-end utilization process and recipes of water, and also analyzing. So somebody can come over the counter and say, listen, I'd like you to analyze this water for us.
Yeah, so we're an equipment supplier, so we're an OEM. So we generally will provide the equipment, so the analyzers itself would be, in a lab as an example.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the lab can be on-site, or it can be an external lab that people send their water to. But our equipment's used for all this type of work, for sure.
Absolutely. And then I was looking a little bit around the metering, water metering stuff. You guys not in any of the metering, or is it just only on the pumping? And if I look at your handbook.
No, we have lots of solutions. As you said, so this metering would fall under our measurement kind of portfolios.
Okay. Yep.
Part of measurement would mean how much quantity of water you actually incoming or outgoing. We have a full range of meters from that perspective, from your domestics to your commercial and high flow meters as well. We have from mechanical meters to static meters, etc. So lots of ranges from that perspective. You might know the brand Census. That's the brand that it comes under. It belongs to the Xylem entity.
Okay.
Under Xylem, we have over 50 brands with legacies over 100 years in most of the markets that we operate in, and they are tier 1 products in most of these markets.
And footprint is it South Africa, or Africa based, or internationally based? Just for guys that are listening, because I know all my guys that listen, they normally ask those kind of questions. So the kind of footprint that you guys have? Yeah,
we're headquarters in Washington from the US, so we are a US multinational organization listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
Okay.
But we got a global footprint. We have in over 150 countries. In Africa, we've got 7 offices across Africa.
Okay.
In South Africa, we're headquartered in Kempton Park in Johannesburg, and we've got offices in Richards Bay and in Cape Town as well.
Okay, that's excellent. And just on the last thing, anybody maybe you want to just anybody who wants to get a hold of you, maybe just put out your web address.
Yeah, absolutely. Like yeah, so you can get in touch with us. I mean, our web address is easy. It's xylem.com. Yeah. We'll only test your ability to spell Xylem.
Yeah, it's XY.
Exactly, XYLEM.
Yeah.
And you can see our full range that's there. There's lots of resources available, lots of case studies, white papers, etc. So you'll have a wealth of information to engage on anything related to water.
Excellent. So with that, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to end off with, because I just looking at time, we just need to switch over. But anything else?
No, perfect. I mean, as a parting note, if there's any solution that you want from a water perspective, talk to us. Our approach is, what is your problem? Let us help you solve it.
Let's solve the water for you.
Exactly.
That's a brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Andre.
Guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Cheers.
Fine.